All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us. Today, we were just talking about how the energies are really intense at the moment. You know, we're between the new moon and the solstice, and yeah, intense. So we have a power-packed show for you today. And if you are new to my show, new to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring forward to you wonderful speakers and guests who share their wonderful wisdom, techniques, healing processes, etc., to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, assist you and support you in thriving in your life, and helping us and helping the collective, and at the same time helping the planet. So I'm excited for today's guest, brand new speaker to our show, not new to the telesummit world, but new to us. And today we're going to be talking about unchaining your teeth and bones, hidden karma and trauma release for teeth and bones with Mieke Ketting. And so some of what we're going to discuss today, you know, we're going to talk about like finding out more about the root cause of persisting teeth or bone issues. If you'd like to discover if the cause of unexplained symptoms that won't go away no matter what you do could be in your mouth. We're going to talk about improving your overall health by improving your oral health, improving the health of your teeth, gums, and bones by releasing hidden trauma and karma. We're going to talk about and work on inflammation issues in your mouth area. Would you like to get rid of the karma stored in your teeth and bones that keeps you stuck? Clearly, we're going to talk about and clear, hopefully, some the energetic connection between your teeth and organs. There's just so much here. And we're also going to talk about strengthening your bone structure to make them as healthy as possible. All that and more. We're going to be taking some live caller questions. There's going to be a group process as well, so please stay tuned. And our guest today is Mieke Ketting. And like I said, she is new to our show, but probably not new to you. She is a multidimensional energy healer, channel, and medium. As a certified medical intuitive, Akashic Records reader, emotion code practitioner, and professional aura reader, she has a unique and customized approach to help her clients. Mieke channels customized energies and messages to help her clients heal from physical issues, break through their blockages, and get clarity on their purpose in life. Mieke supports her clients with transmuting trauma, fear, and pain into lightness, change, joy, and happiness. And she combines this with practical advice and insights. Mieke connects to a cosmic energy field to facilitate healing by working with a special high-speed healing frequency and light language. She works on multiple dimensions, connects to the crystalline energy of the earth, and she channels the galactic felines of light. She shares light language messages as needed. And Mieke has had an extensive career as a professional coach and manager and is an expert in what drives and motivates people. So we are so excited that she's here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Mieke to the show. Mieke, welcome.
Thank you, Alara. I'm so happy to be here. It's really nice to see everyone online, and I hope maybe some more people could turn on their cameras because we are on Zoom, and it's always so nice to see all the faces, and especially when we are going to take live calls, then it's so nice to see who you are. So if you have the opportunity to turn on your camera, please do. I always love it. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And, you know, just as you mentioned about we're going to be taking live caller questions, working one-on-one with some people. So if you'd like to work one-on-one with Mieke, please do raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat. And then, of course, we will be doing a group process as well, because I know we're not going to be able to get to everybody. So there is going to be a group process as well to assist everyone. So, Mieke, I mean, this is a new topic, new area. I never actually considered or thought about how karma and teeth and bones were connected. So, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But because this is your first time on the show, can you just take us through just a little bit of your journey, your healing journey, and your journey as a healer, and to what you're doing now? Just a slight introduction on your path would be great.
Yes, I'm more than happy to do that, Lara. So, well, I wasn't all the time a healer. I just started my own healing practice a little bit more than a year ago during the whole Corona period. I thought, well, I should do more with my healing capacities. I always did it like on the side with family and friends, and never did it like as business. Because I started out as a lawyer for one of the, I'm Dutch, by the way, as you can probably hear by my accent, but I started out as a professional lawyer with one of the large Dutch law firms, but I didn't really like that. So after a few years, I switched to management consultancy. And I liked that better because I was working with a lot of different organizations and the people in the organizations. And while I was working with people, I developed kind of my own management style, my own leadership style, the way I coached people. And the feedback I got was that I was always so people oriented. And during my career, I was able to do a lot of courses and trainings, and that started out with more like the professional trainings, but it developed in more spiritual work. So I did a lot of modalities. I learned how to clear trapped emotions. I'm an Akashic Records reader. I'm a professional aura reader. I do SRT, that's releasing energy from the subconscious. And then finally, when I was working as a management consultant and a manager, that business just was so difficult to do during the whole pandemic. So that was the moment for me to switch to healing. And here I am. So now I have a full-time healing practice, and I still do my corporate work, and I like the combination of it. Because it all is about the same thing, you know. If you can help people to move past their blockages, whether it is in a professional function with their career or whether it's with their personal life, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it's only a matter of how you approach it and what technique or modality you use. So that's
absolutely
it.
Wonderful, thank you. So, you know, let's talk about karma. I know we all have our own ideas about karma, what karma is, etc. But let's talk about karma in your perspective, and why do we have karma? Like, what role is karma playing in our lives and on our journey now?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of different opinions and definitions of karma, but how I look at karma is you have mainly three types of karma. You have the ancestral karma, so that's like the actions and choices that were made by our ancestors, and they have an impact on our present lives. So it's like inheriting the consequences of the actions and behavior committed by our ancestors. And that really can have a large influence on our circumstances that we have in our lives, the opportunities that open up for us, but also the challenges that we face. And for example, a good friend of mine, she suffered from severe headaches, and she went to a couple of doctors and all kinds of specialists, and it didn't really go away. And she was not the healing type. So I offered her some help, and then she said, well, you know, I can always try. So I worked on her energies, I cleared a lot from the subconscious, and then I picked up like the energy of suicide. And that doesn't mean that she was suicidal, but that means that she had that energy in her field. So I said, well, you know, I picked this energy up, and of course I'm going to clear it for you, but does it resonate with you? And then she got quite emotional, and then she said, well, you know, one of our children really had severe issues around that when he was in first grade. So it's always on the back of my mind. It's always like I'm always thinking when I get a call, or when he's calling, or, you know, if something didn't happen to him. And then I said, well, you know, I'm here, and I still have some time, so shall I have a look into that? And then it was very interesting, because it appeared that her father, he fought in World War II, and he had to drop bombs above Indonesia. But he had a very big conflict with it. So he had a conflict between serving his country and not wanting to kill people because of the war. So the grandfather and the father of my friend often thought, well, what would happen if I just, I crash the plane and I kill myself, because then problem solved. Then I don't have to kill people anymore. I still serve my country. So this energy about suicide was present in the field of my friend, but also in her son's field. And then I cleared it for both of them. And I didn't thought of it. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, I texted her, but how are the headaches? And then she called me and said, well, the headaches are better, but what is most interesting? My parents came to visit me, and my son was also at home. And they afterwards, when they left to go home, they said, well, what happened to him? It's just like he's a different child. He's so much more optimistic. We almost don't recognize him. So that very heavy, dense energy was cleared from his field, and he always had trouble at school. It's a very intelligent kid, and now he graduated. He passed for his exams. He's going to study, and he got in a totally different vibe and a totally different path because of that heavy energy lifted from his field. So that's how you see how karma can bleed through. But we also have past life karma, and that's really more attached to our soul. So our soul has usually had multiple lifetimes. So the actions and choices we made in previous lives can also influence our current life. And past life karma also can shape our talents, our personality traits, our tendencies, but also the circumstances that we encounter in our present life. And then the last is present life karma, but that usually is less more present, because people usually really suffer more from the past life karma and the ancestral karma. And present life karma is just what is caused by your own actions. So it's based on the principle of cause and effect, that every action has its consequences. So like the moral and ethical choices that we make in our present life, that also creates karma in this life, and that we will experience that both in the short term, but also in future lives.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And so, very often we're not aware of the negative influence of the karma of trauma on our health, especially, right? It's like we hardly ever connect it to our health, right? Our physical health.
Yeah, that's right, because it's not that when you have physical issues, or you have pain somewhere, or you feel depressed, it's something you can really experience. But if karma is playing out, it's not tangible. You can't get it. So most people know about karma, and almost everybody who suffered from trauma in their life knows that they suffered it, and they know it has consequences. And because when they get triggered, they know usually it's caused by the trauma. And then most people are also afraid to really do a deep dive into their own shadow side and into their own subconscious. And it's very difficult to really access your own subconscious level. So most people are not even aware of what kind of programs and negative energies are playing out at that level. And but I always love to work on the shadow part and at subconscious level, because you really can accelerate people's healing. And you can create amazing breakthroughs, because what I just explained with my friend and her son, well, she wasn't aware of it, he wasn't aware of it, but if you lift that out of the field, and it's so heavy, then it all lightens up. And when your energy and your frequency raises, you also, and the frequency changes and the vibration changes, you start to attract other things into your life. And And what I notice a lot when I work with my clients is people find it very difficult to work around fear, because fear really blocks them. It's fight, flight, freeze. They go into survival mode. They keep stuck in their patterns that arise when they got triggered. But if you have have the intention and the commitment to work around it and to work on your shadow side, to work on your fear, and to access the subconscious level, and you can ask like a specialized healer like me or you or all the other amazing healers on your call, then it can really bring amazing results.
Awesome. Thank you. And so, one of the areas I really wanted to touch on was about the meridians. So what is the influence of our meridians on the health of our teeth and our gums? And can you give an example of that as well?
Yeah, sure. The meridians, and most people do know that, they're like the energy channels for our physical body. So we have 12 main meridians, and they're located all over our body on the left and the right side of the body, but also on the front and the back side of the body. And why are the meridians so important, and why are these energy channels so important? Because they transport the chi, the life force energy. And they facilitate the life force energy to move through your body. So when your chi, your life force energy, when that circulates through these channels, all of your body's organs and glands and other tissues, they receive the energy and they get the nourishment they need. But if the meridians become blocked and your energy can't circulate, and it stays that way for a longer time period, then it can really cause pain and illness. And all of the separate meridians have specific functions, and they are all connected to different glands and organs. And that's why it's so interesting to work on the meridians, because when you work on the meridian, you immediately work on the corresponding gland or organ or body part as well. And when you relate it to the teeth, that all the teeth in your mouth also reflect the health of your organ systems and vice versa. So if you improve the health of your teeth and gums by clearing and healing the meridian, you also work on your glands and organs and body parts. So for example, if you have had a root canal or a tooth is extracted, it can also affect the corresponding area of your body. So what I found out with some of my clients, that they had persistent health issues, and when I started working on the oral area, the other issue also healed. And for example, when you have chronic pain in the canine teeth, that can be a sign of inflammation of the liver or the gallbladder. So there are all of these it's all linking together. So the meridians, the teeth, the organs, the glands, and for example, arthritis can be an indication that there's something wrong with the upper and lower fourth teeth. And the lower molars can indicate varicose veins and problems with the colon and respiratory illnesses like pneumonia and asthma and things like that. So that's why I find it so interesting that it's all related to each other, and you can work, you have different angles to work on.
Now that is a really interesting, and also when you're healing the teeth and gums, it's going to affect the organs as well, and vice versa. If you're healing the organs, it's going to affect the teeth and gums as well, right?
Yes, that's correct, and that's why I always look at the meridians, because it's like the linking pin between in the whole picture. So if it depends on what the issue is for the client. If they have issues around the teeth or the gums, and you dive into the meridian, they very often say, oh, this other thing also healed or got better. But if they come to you with like a physical issue and you start to work on the meridian, then it also can improve the health in the oral area.
Awesome. I love it. Good. And so why are healthy bones so important for our overall well-being? I mean, of course, healthy bones, it helps with our structure, giving us solidity, giving us stability, but what else? Why are healthy bones so important?
Well, we have, I even didn't know that before I read some more about this subject. I didn't know that we had like over 200 bones. I think we have like 206 bones in our body. And well, we all know that they help us move, that they literally give our physical body the shape and the support it needs. It gives the body the structure.
Yeah.
But bone, I don't know how you say that in English, bone tissue or bone tissue. It's also like a living tissue, and it's changing all the time.
And you mean the bone marrow? Bone marrow?
No, I mean, well, bone marrow is something different, but I really mean the physical bones, like the hard, solid bones.
Yep.
But it changes, when you are younger and you are in your childhood and in your teenage years, your body adds new bone material, and it does that faster than it removes old bone material. But around the age of 20, you can lose bone material faster than you make bone. And to have strong bones when you are young and to prevent bone loss when you are older, you need to take care of your bones. You need to make sure, that's why we always were taught that we had to drink milk, we had to have calcium, vitamin D. We had to exercise because bone pressure, when there's pressure on the bones, the bone starts making new material, and it grows new bone. And that's why the doctor always says, well, avoid drinking and smoking, because it has it can have a negative effect on your bones, but on the whole physical body, but on the bones as well. Yeah. And you can even measure it. You can measure the density of the bones. You can measure the bone mass, and there are even screenings for that to help identify what the calcium level is of the bones, and thus how strong the bones are. And what I just said is when we are or were young adults, like around the age of 25, 30, the bone density is at its peak. And after that period, the bones gradually lose their density. But you can also work on that. You can take supplements like vitamins and minerals. There's medication like hormone therapy. You can do like strength training, like weight bearing exercises and running, and make sure that there's bone pressure. So yeah, that's why the bones are so important for us. And if we have bone diseases, it can make our bones easy to break, and you can have all kinds of bone problems like osteopenia or osteoporosis, or several forms of arthritis or back pain. I mean, how many people don't have back pain? I think it's the most common medical problem we have, or problems with the hips or the knees. That's all related to the bones.
Yeah, for sure. And so, what about karma? What effect does karma have on our bones?
Well, there are two things that can really have effect on the bones: karma and trauma. And the effect karma has is usually more indirect and less visible than the effect of trauma. So karma really influences the flow of our energy, our life force energy, our chi, and it can create blockages in our energy system. And as there are, when you look at it like from an energetic point of view, or a spiritual perspective, there are always meaning to certain body parts. And karma is usually associated with the bones. So it can lessen the bone quality, it can lead to osteopenia or osteoporosis or arthritis. Even our negative emotions, such as like anger or resentment or guilt, that also can affect our mental and emotional well-being. And if we have long periods of stress and we don't feel balanced, we feel out of balance, and we literally don't feel good in our skin, it can lead to physiological changes in the body. It can lead to increased inflammation, to reduced immune function, and impaired healing qualities. And that all can affect the bone health and the healing processes. And when you have a look at trauma, then you can have a look at the emotional trauma. For example, when people experience like severe abandonment issues, or they go to a difficult divorce or separation situation, you see a lot of osteopenia and osteoporosis coming up, and even like if you have suffered from severe physical trauma, like particular fractures and immobilization issues, that can also increase the risk of bone issues. And even trauma to a joint, it can lead to post-traumatic arthritis. If you have had like emotional trauma, that also can interfere with your healing process and also with the process of the body, that it breaks off the old bone material, but it also grows the new bone material. So if that healing process is disturbed by traumatic injuries or emotional trauma, it also has it can have an effect on the bones as well.
Yeah, wow, serious stuff. So you obviously work with teeth and gums and bones with your cosmic quantum healing technique, right? That you use for clearing karma and trauma in the teeth and gums and bones. So can you talk a little bit about that technique and how that works?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what is like, a lot of people ask me, well, what's your specialty? And then I always say, well, I don't have a specialty because I've done so many modalities. But what I always do is I always zoom in on the client's energy, and then I feel what is needed in that moment. So with the teeth and the bones, I know it's very important to have a look at the meridians, but it also could be that I have to look at the chakras. And what a lot of people don't know is that we have 7 major chakras, or most people know that, but they don't know that all of the chakras are also connected to the corresponding glands and organs. So it can be that the meridians are in quite good condition, but that all of the chakras are blocked. And I had that with, oh, that looks great. Send some it my way as well. So I worked on a client 2 weeks ago, and she suffered from long COVID issues. And she had a total lack of energy. And then I had a look at the chakras, and all of the chakras were just blocked. So there was no energy coming in. And we have chakras on the front side of our body, but also on the back side of our body. And the chakras on the back side of the body are related to our willpower, and on the front side of the body are related to our emotions and feelings. And the chakras, they should spin clockwise because they should pull the energy in. They take in energy from outside of our body, and then they function as transformers to transform the energy to the exact frequency that corresponding gland or organ needs. But if the chakras spin counterclockwise, then it sends energy out of the system. So if all of your chakras are blocked or spinning counterclockwise, then there's no new energy coming in, and you start to feel depleted, exhausted, so what I do, I just take the modality or the technique, what is most needed in that moment. And I work with a lot of high frequency energy, with a lot of cosmic high frequency energy, and also with the Galactic Felines of Light. That's very powerful and very high energies. And so it's a combination of all of that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And the sessions that you do, obviously you do them via Zoom. You also do remote healing as well, right? And of course in person.
Yes, I do it all three, but for the package, it's all on Zoom. Only if, well, sometimes I have clients and they send me an email and they say, well, you know, I can't be there at the time that I booked the session, but please do a remote session for me. That's also possible, but I prefer to do like on Zoom when I see or hear the client. It's for both of us, it's the most nice way to work.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I know that, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I always miss the interaction, you know, when I work remotely, then I miss the interaction, and you can't ask like, well, how are you feeling? Or how does it resonate with you? Or I can't give you additional information, right? It's even, so you even can go deeper, you know. So I always like that part of my work, that I can have the interaction with my clients and to really tune into what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So today we are going to be doing some scans or readings for people, but it's not just like, can you give me a reading? It's you have some criteria or some different questions that you want them to ask you, right?
Well, you know, I think people can ask their question, and I can see what it's needed to do at that moment. I mean, there will be mini healings, you know. It won't be like, of course, and let's see that we can get to as many people as we can. I also did that in the Facebook Live in your group, that I did mini readings and healings, and yeah, I always like to see if we can get to as many people as we can, so people at least get a little bit of healing today. And
Exactly.
I always love, and I know you do the same, Alara, is I always set the intention that when I do group healings or when I work in a group, that the energy will work for everyone who resonates with it. So everyone can just open up their hearts and set the intention that they want to receive the healing, and then they will benefit from it as well. So I think it's very good when people also use their own intuitive powers and their own intuition. And when you're listening to someone else who receives the healing, then just feel how it resonates with you and what it does to your body, and where you feel the energy, because then it will work for you as well. So
absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we may not get to everybody like we said, but so if your specific question is not answered, please do listen to all of the questions, and if it resonates, please be willing to receive. Okay, so we're going to try and keep the stories limited, short. Okay, so no big long stories. We're not doing a personal session here. Okay, people, we're not doing a personal session here. If you want to do a personal session, book one with, Mieke, right? So these are just quick healing, clearing, etc., around releasing karma and trauma in your teeth and bones, right? So you can talk about, do a reading for, are your meridians congested? Are there any discordant energies in your field? Is there a heart wall, hidden heart wall, etc., any of that kind of stuff? So just please be mindful of, we want to try and get to as many people as possible. So keep your stories limited, please. We don't need a long story. With that.
And Alara, I have the feeling that when I tune into the group energy, that everyone is quite high up with their energy. Shall I do a very short grounding process?
Sure.
That I can
Absolutely.
ground everyone in, because it makes it more easy for us to hold space and to do the healing. And especially with the, I'm just going to heal a little bit of the group energy and to clear the energy. And especially what I feel around the solstice tomorrow, there's so much going on, and there's a lot of feminine energy coming through. And I understood that there's even kind of like goddess-like energy coming in to the planet. And there are so many interesting things going on astrologically. So it's a combination of feminine energy and Mars energies, and then I think it's the sign of Leo as well that is coming through. So there's really this very powerful field that's around us now, and that's why I want to ground everyone. And if we can ground ourselves, so if you listen to my voice and feel your feet firmly touching the ground, and if you want to like remove your shoes to even feel it more, even feel it better, then it's all totally fine. And then send your energies deep down into the earth. So it's like that you are growing roots out of the feet chakras, and the feet chakras, they are located at the middle of the soles of the feet. So just imagine that you grow roots very deep down into the earth. You can close your eyes if you like to, if you're comfortable with that. You can stand up, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. And then send your energies down. Send it down, even more down. And keep sending the energy down until you reach like your, I always call it your personal anchor point. And it's this point that your energy clicks into the energy of the earth. It's like you hook into the earth. And once you feel that, you found your personal grounding point, your personal anchor point, ask the earth energy to come up again. The beautiful crystalline energies of the earth. And around this solstice energy, they have to do a lot around intuition, strengthening of our emotional intelligence. But it's also very nourishing, supportive energy. It's nurturing, grounding. It gives us the feeling of stability, safety, security. And then let that energy come back into your body. And pull it up, all the way up to the heart center. So pull it up through the legs, the hip area, and pay special attention to your bones. So set the intention that the energy will flow through the bones, specifically, until it reaches the heart center. And then I help you all to open up the crown chakra and to connect you to the cosmic energies, and I ask for the highest frequency possible for you today. I'm clearing away some resistance, so allow yourself to receive the energy. And let the cosmic energies flow in through the crown chakra, all the way down through the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, down to the heart center, the heart chakra, thymus gland, the physical heart. And at the level of the heart, both energy flows blend together. The earth energies mix together with the cosmic energies. And I'm going to ask that energy, that frequency, to fill up the whole physical body, all of the 7 chakras, and the 7 energy bodies. So you feel secure, safe, stable, protected, and grounded. And so it is. So I see you yawning already, Alara. So you could feel the energy, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it feels better for the group now.
Okay, so we are going to be taking some live caller questions, and I know some people have also put some questions in the chat. So let's start off with Sarah. You want to unmute yourself?
Thank you so much. Okay, I will say this very quickly. I currently have broken bones. I have soft teeth, which drain my bank account, and I've learned not to be in terror of, but more crowns than teeth. Arthritis, osteoporosis, and I've had a couple pulled, and I hope my energy circuits are restored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you definitely need some work around the meridians. So I'm going to the heart meridian for you. So, and everybody can feel this as well, because it's always good to clear the heart meridian. So for you, Sarah, go inwards with your attention and place your hands on your heart. And maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do that. And the heart meridian, it's located on the inner side of the arms, on both sides of the body. So I'm just starting over there. I'm starting at the left side of the heart meridian, like just below the armpit, clearing out the meridian, using high frequency clearing energies, going all the way down to the little finger, the pinky finger. Shifting to the other side of the body, right side, and then moving upwards from the little finger to the armpit, clearing everything out that doesn't serve you anymore, everything that's not for your highest good. Also going to the back side of the body, clearing out that part of the heart meridian, clearing left, clearing right, and I feel some abandonment energy coming up in your field. Is that something that you experienced in your present life?
Very much so.
Yeah, so that's what I feel, and abandonment, it causes this energy of separation, because if you feel abandoned, you also feel disconnected from the universal energies, from source, from God, just whichever word you want to need. So if you have a lot of abandonment energy in your system, it definitely has an effect on the bones, and teeth are also bones. So that's a major issue for you. That's what I feel. Yeah.
I feel closer to God than I do to most people, though.
Yeah, but it's located at a deep level as well. So the abandonment, and when I, that's always how it works together. When you experience abandonment in your present life, usually that resonates with separation energy in the subconscious. And when it's located in the subconscious, the underlying thought has always to do with separation from source or God, or it can even be like a belief system that you are broken. So all those things can play out in your system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send in the highest frequency healing energies for you. And feel them coming in at heart level. So let's ask for the highest frequency of love for you. And especially the love, the unconditional love from parents for their children, children for their parents. And let's fill up your heart with it. And allow yourself to receive the energy. Open up your heart. Know that you're worthy, that you're enough, and that it's your birthright to receive this unconditional love that you deserve. And so it is. How does that feel for you?
It felt wonderful, and I also felt it up into my throat.
Okay, so let's have a look at your throat chakra, and I brought my pendulum. Just see if I can find myself, because then I can see how when I hold my pendulum like this, I hope you can see it.
I
So
can.
when I ask for the throat chakra, it's not spinning, so it's hanging still, and that means that the throat chakra is blocked. So I'm going to do a quick chakra restructuring for you. Clearing out some fear, some anxiety. There's also some like hidden fear at a deeper level of fear of speaking your truth, speaking up for yourself, really speaking up for yourself. So I'm going to clear that out for you. Then I'm going to restructure the chakra. And I'll do this more quickly than I'll do it in a session, but otherwise we can't go to the other people. And then I'm going to ask my pendulum again, give me the throat chakra of Sarah, and now you see that it starts spinning. So now it starts pulling energy in for you, it starts spinning very quickly, and it has also the good diameter. So the chakra also has to have a specific width. Do I say that correctly, Alara? Just correct.
Width.
Width, yeah, I thought so. It sounded strange in my head. I also corrected it to what it should be. And there you go. How do you feel?
I just felt that through my jaw and my tongue, and I am so grateful and delighted to have received this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned the jaw, because in the jaw bones we store a lot of tension. So you can do yourself a huge favor to like massage, and especially the points like just, you know, that little dent you feel there. Sometimes it can be very painful, very tender. So slowly massage that point, and then you can even let your jaw hang loose a little bit. Yeah, do it like that. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I wanted homework. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love giving homework.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think a lot of us could definitely resonate with both of that, working with the heart, working with the throat, working with, you know, the jaw even. I think we all can resonate with that. So please, please, please be willing to receive from everyone, okay? If it resonates with you. All right, we're going to go to Rob.
Yes, hello. I'll keep it short. Also, it's severe tooth bone pain, left and right, the same tooth. This one is extracted. A thorn in my skull, and a crushed finger. And it might be related to family karma also, because my brother broke his hip on my father's birthday last year, and this year he had to be rushed on my father's birthday to hospital again. So was this pain in my tooth happening also that day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I get that it's definitely karma related. So that's you felt that right. Where are you from, Rob?
Oh yeah, from the Netherlands, Rotterdam.
Ah, you're from Rotterdam. Well,
Yeah.
I've lived in Rotterdam as well, so welcome. It's
Yeah.
always nice to see a fellow countryman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, because if I would do a regular session, I would do a past life clearing for you, but that takes more time than I have now, so it sometimes takes up for like 15 or 20 minutes. But what I will do, I will douse with my pendulum and my chart the most important discordant energies that are related to the karma.
As I had in mind also to book a session for further. But
Sure, you're always welcome.
Yeah.
Always welcome. But do you have a pen and paper ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can write with me, because this is always, I always love doing this. the first energy I get for you is the energy of abuse. And with clearing from the subconscious, it doesn't mean that you have to be abused, but it means that the energy is in your field. So you could have picked it up like when you were in the womb, you could have picked it up from past lives. You know, it's just that it's just energy that is present in your field. So I always say, you know, it's just energy. Let's stay neutral to it, and I can clear it for you. So then I will do the clearing at the end, and I'll douse. I can do this very quickly. The next one that's coming up is anger. And I work with my breath a lot. So if I yawn or make...
I can feel it.
Yeah, it's not that I'm bored or that I'm impolite, but I have to clear the energy. So the energy of doom is coming through. The energy of illness. And you know, that's always, I always can explain that very easily. If you have the energy of illness running in your system, it's the frequency that you're going to attract other things that are not healthy or having to do with not being able to have perfect health. So I always love to clear that. There's the energy of terror.
Okay.
And then I go to the last one. There's the energy of betrayal. So I'm going to clear that for you. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the opposite energies in. And I'm going to douse them as well. Well, there was a big clearing already. So the energy, the first energy I'm going to put into your system is the energy of freedom. Comfort. Self-preservation. And consideration. Okay, now we're going to do something fun together, but that's very powerful. So I'm going to read out 3 statements, and I would like to ask you to please repeat it after me.
Yeah.
And that will, just looking down it. Okay, so please repeat after me. I release.
I release.
All belief.
All belief.
Perception and judgment.
Perception and judgment.
That I have to carry.
That I have to carry.
The energy.
The energy.
Of abuse.
Of abuse.
Anger.
Anger.
Doom.
Doom.
Illness.
Illness.
Terror and betrayal.
Terror and betrayal.
And now place your hands on your heart area as well, please. I release.
I release.
All need and desire.
All need and desire.
To believe.
To believe.
In abuse.
In abuse.
Anger.
Anger.
Doom.
Doom.
Illness.
Illness.
Terror.
Terror.
And betrayal.
And betrayal.
I now completely. Accept and believe.
Accept and believe.
And instruct my subconscious.
And instruct my subconscious.
To accept and believe.
To accept and believe.
On every level of my being.
On every level of my being.
In freedom.
In freedom.
Comfort.
Comfort.
Self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
And consideration.
And consideration.
And so it is.
So it is.
And how does that feel for you?
That's quite a list, which is slowly going away, I sense, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
causing, so it was something very congested, causing me nightmares the last week. So I think
yeah.
it's quite
That's how
something.
powerful the work at
Yeah,
subconscious level is, that it immediately opens up the field and it makes you
yeah,
feel lighter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
if you post your if you put your email address in the chat, Rob,
Yeah,
I will send the releasing statements to you after the session, so you can
yeah, yeah.
you
That's
can
good.
do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Or you can always watch the replay again on YouTube.
Yeah,
too, as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that was powerful. There was a lot of heavy duty discordant energies there, which
Yeah.
I think again we can all relate to as well, you know.
Yeah, because those are universal energies, you know, and everyone has energies like this in their fields. So I mean, who doesn't have the energy of anger in their field, you know, and illness and betrayal. We all felt those energies at some point in our life. So it's all of our fields. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, I wanted to make sure 1 second. So Tammy, would love a healing on her teeth and gum issues. Have had many issues throughout the years. I'm not sure if you can take questions from the chat.
Yeah, sure, I'm only looking for it.
It was earlier on. It's under Kyle Duarte Smith, but it's
Yes, I
Tammy.
know who it is. I know who that is. So this is one of my clients. Very nice person. Okay, here we go. I'm just clearing energy from the field. And I'm going to check the root chakra. And it's not spinning, so first going to reset it. So Tammy, really ground yourself and keep sending your energies down. Checking the root chakra again. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see myself, but now it's spinning correctly. I'm going to the heart area and I'm going to remove a heart wall. And there's a lot of energy, a lot of energy to work so hard to take care of her loved ones. And the question, who's taking care of her? And the heart really felt hurt at some earlier point in her life. So there's some old wound. So I'm going to send a lot of compassion to it. A lot of rose-colored energy, very soothing, very loving frequency, and everyone can open up their heart for this, to receive this, because we all need more love, more compassion, more self-care. So allow yourself to receive it for everyone who is listening now or to the replay. And then for Tammy, I'm going to change the material for the heart wall, of the heart wall. So there's a very solid protection. So I'm going to send in the energy to change the material, so it will make it feel easier for her to open up her heart. So it's like she has a brick wall before her heart, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it out of fabric, but you know, like jeans. So it's still there, so it can still protect the heart if necessary, because sometimes it's too much to clear it all at once. So I'm just making it more easy for the energy to come into the heart. And also for the heart chakra to pull in the energy. Removing some grief, some sorrow, some energy of missed opportunities, missed out in life. And I'm going to bring in the cosmic heart spark for her. And everyone who wants to be reconnected to their cosmic heart sparks, just set the intention that it will happen for you as well. And the cosmic heart spark is a very high frequency cosmic energy. And it opens up the heart for like being more aligned to your soul purpose, your path in life, your soul path, the things you really came here to do on earth. So Tammy, there you go. And what we can all do, now we have received the cosmic heart spark, find your own way of how you want to keep it in your heart. I'm not going to say how you want to protect it, so I don't want you all to build fences, but like how you can, what energy can you bring in your own heart to protect your cosmic heart spark? And maybe you can use with a color, pick your favorite color and just build something soft, like, you know, like a cloth or cotton balls or something fluffy, soft, a blanket, a little blanket, and wrap it around the cosmic heart spark. And then a little bit close up your heart chakra again, bring it back to its normal position, the heart as well. And then let me know in the chat how you feel. And Tammy, let me know how you feel, if you feel better after this, and everyone else who felt something, just type it into the chat. I would love to know how people reacted to this.
Awesome. So while they are writing in the chat, let us know how you are feeling that that process with the cosmic spark. In the meantime, Angela has a question in the chat. She says, please check my heart meridian in connection to my lower left molar.
Okay. So I'm going to tune into her energy first. Just clearing some general energies from the field. And is it the first molar? Because we have like 5 molars on the left, so I feel guided to go to the first one. Like we have a premolar first. We have 2 premolars first, and then I go to the first molar. And that meridian is connected to the large intestine meridian. So I'm going into the meridian, clear it all out. And Alara, if you could check the chat, if she posted something about...
She said the first root canal.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it was the one that I was guided to go to. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And it has a swelling since the canal was done.
Ah, great. It's also connected to the left lung. So I'm going to the left lung as well, clearing the energy. And it's also connected to the pituitary gland. So I'm removing some calcification from the pituitary gland. Removing fear, energy of fear. This also relates to a past life when she was suffocated. She couldn't breathe in that past life. Clearing that out of the lung. Then I'm going to do a very quick healing on the large intestine meridian, sending healing energies through to move everything out that's not supposed to be there. I'm going to fill it up with healing energies, repairing the meridian, restructuring the meridian, and then I'm going to seal it off with pure gold for safety, security, reflection and protection. And so it is. How does that feel, Angela? Let me know in the chat. Is she online or not? I can't read. I see. Oh,
she's here, but she's not. She doesn't have her camera on.
No, but maybe she's able to unmute herself without a camera. That's also possible.
Yeah. She said that was calming. Good. Awesome. So she feels better, right? So that was calming. So she feels calmer. So that's good.
Oh, I didn't understood that. Oh, great, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to take a few more quick questions, readings, etc., and we're going to do the group process as well. But before that, I really quickly want to go over the package, Mieke, if that's okay, because we're past the top of the hour. So I'd just like to do that at the top of the hour. So I'm going to share my screen in 1 second. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so we should be seeing the screen now. So Mieke has one package, which includes a 30-minute personal session on Zoom, just like we're doing now, a light language MP3 for perfect oral health, a silent version of the light language MP3 for on the go, a pre-session scan of energies that are blocking you from having healthy teeth and bones, a channeled karma release light language symbol, a channeled trauma release light language symbol, a channeled light language love symbol, and 3 pre-recorded masterclasses, all that for $147. I think I should have made it more, but anyways, $147.
Yeah, I think so. Me too.
As I'm reading all the things, like, oh crap. So there's a payment plan available, and of course, if you are an Inner Circle member, please take advantage of your gift code as well. So let's just briefly talk about the different elements of the package, right? So let's talk about the 30-minute session. It's just basically it's like this, right?
Yeah, it's basically like this. You know, I just tune in what is needed, and it depends on the issue the client wants to work on. But I always tune in on the actual need for healing and what is most necessary to work on.
Yeah. And then, so the light language MP3, how would they use it, and why do you have 2, a silent version as well?
Yeah, well, I always channel light language to get people out of their heads. So because light language, it's like this kind of funny sounding language, but it's the root language of the universe, the first language of the universe. So it's very powerful, and it has a very powerful healing frequencies. And when you listen to it, well, I hear so many different things that my clients do with it. Some people use it to meditate upon. Other people just play it when they're doing the dishes or working in the garden, and it just calms them down and it gets them out of their head. Other people use it before they go to sleep, and they set the intention that it will heal the oral area. You can also really sit with it and listen to it, put on earphones, and really take in the energy and go with your attention to the oral area and to the specific issues that you have going on, and then set the intention that light language will work for that. But I know everyone is always very busy, has very busy lives. So that's why I also created a silent version that you can play. I always play them on my phone when I have my phone in my purse or my bag or in the car. That's the way people use it. I even heard clients charge their water with it. They just place their glass of water on the table, and they put their phone with the light language playing on the phone, and they charge their water with it. So yeah, it's be creative.
Yep, exactly. Be creative. And then the pre-session scan of energies is obviously before the session, you're scanning the person and their energies with regards to the teeth, bones, and gums, right? And to see what's coming up.
Yeah. And I always love doing that, because then I can work freely and I don't have any like interaction with the client, and then the client is already cleared from the basic interference in their auric field, or like at the subconscious, just whatever I'm guided to do at that day. So you start working at a higher level already.
So it's not just a scan, you're also doing healing at that time.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to correct that, because to me, as such, a scan is just getting information. That's not changing anything, right? So I'll change to say pre-session scan and healing of energies.
Yeah. No,
and then
that's a good idea. That's probably my lack of native speaking English.
It's okay. It's okay. And so let's talk about these light language symbols as well, right? The karma release, trauma release, and love symbol.
Yeah, well,
and how can they use them?
Yeah,
right?
they can use it also in different ways. A lot of people use it to charge their water. So they print it out and put the glass of water on the symbol, and then let it stay there for a couple of minutes, and then set the intention that it will charge your water. I have people that they print it out and place it under their pillow at night. People who just have it next to the computer, or they put it in their back pocket of their jeans. So it's you can like meditate on it by just looking at it, and then see what's coming through for you. You can place it on body parts if you have like a painful joint or a bone, and then this and especially when you know it is from experienced trauma, then use the trauma symbol. And if you already have the feeling that you have a lot of karma, like Rob told us, then use the karma symbol to place it on the affected body parts. And the love symbol, you can use it even to send love to your family members. Love is such a universal frequency, such a high frequency. So I like to include it in the package, because you can use it for everything. If you can really take in the energy of love, and you can open up to receive that and to work with that, you can do a lot of healing yourself as well.
Awesome. So it should be printed. You can't just do it by looking at the symbol.
No, you can also look at the computer, but then you have to be at the computer. So most of the people print it so they can move it around, and yeah, I wouldn't advise putting your glass of water on the computer. I know it wouldn't work out well in my case.
No, me neither. Awesome, thank you. And so now there's also 3 pre-recorded masterclasses on clearing the subconscious, clearing energies that block you, and manifesting with the May 2023 eclipse energies. I mean, that's to me, it's like that's an extra bonus. So
yeah,
thank you for adding those.
Yeah, sure, you're most welcome. And it's just it's set up the way like we set up this Zoom. I work on several people, and the energies are working for everyone, and I give some explanation, and I work with the cards, with oracle cards as well. And especially with the cards, everyone can benefit from the energies. And you also can, because there are a lot of healing frequencies infused in the recordings, so you can also play them on silence and just let them run, and just benefit from the energy while you are doing something else.
Awesome, good, thank you. So all of that, there's a lot, all of that is available in Miike's package for $147. Payment plan is available, and as well, please use your gift code. If you're an Inner Circle member, free or VIP, please take advantage of that. All right, so that was a lot in the package. So please do work with Mieke if you can, because you know you've seen her today. She did 3 Facebook lives as well in the group, in the Laura Canfield Show group on Facebook. So please, you can also go back and watch those as well, right? And receive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so let's take 1 or 2 quick more thingamajiggies. Let me see. So we're gonna go to Evie. I know Evie has a question. Evie, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Alara.
Hi.
Yes. Hi, Mieke.
Hi, Evie.
Yeah, I'm glad you can hear me. Thanks so much. As I wrote in the chat, this is so relevant. So, yeah, but there's this issue with the root canal, and I've been talking about it all week. Something about it here with the dentists. So, the root canal, I think it's becoming, I don't know what's going on with it, but I can feel it as I tilt my head or I bend my head, or like just a slight shift, and I feel it like the nerve. There's something going on with the nerve. So can you see what's going on?
And what do you know? Can you explain a little bit what teeth?
It's a molar.
And is it on the top of the mouth or the bottom?
Below the lower jaw.
The lower, and on the left or the right side?
I'm sorry?
Was it extracted from the left or the right side?
No, it's a root canal. It's
the
still
root
there.
canal. Yes.
Yeah, it's still there. So it needs to be refurbished. But
okay.
in the meantime, there's something going on.
What side of the mouth?
Left.
Left. Okay. Yeah, then I'm going to the jawbone for you. And interesting enough, I'm going to the jawbone on the right side of your face. And there's a lot of karma stored in the bone. And this is what I mean by that when you're not aware of how this works out, that you have karma stored in the, well, I have to point to the right side, in the right side of the jawbone, and then you get problems on the left side. So I'm going to work on the jawbone. And this is ancestral karma.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull out as much as possible for you today. Do you clench your teeth a lot?
I think I do.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I also had some cards ready, and I'm going to the power of surrender cards, because I feel that there's something, if you've surrendered it, then you can really benefit from letting it go, and it will release the tension in the jawbones as well. So I'm just shuffling the cards for you, and I always find it correct to tell who the author is of the cards, and it's Judith Orloff. And this is how the deck looks like.
Right.
So the card I'm going to pull for you. Oh, it's interesting. I hope it resonates with you, because this is always kind of like a tricky one. Surrender procrastination. And it says, now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And this is also related to the karmic imprints. So when you have karmic imprints, sometimes it's very difficult to really move ahead full speed. Is there something you want to achieve, Evie?
Yes. Yes.
Would you like to share it? It's not necessary, but if you would like to share it, you're more
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm just thinking what is the purpose? If it's a purpose, if there's a purpose, then that's what I'm aiming at. So I'm not even sure what it is at this point, but definitely would want to achieve it.
Yeah, so if you have a lot of karma stored in your bones, you're getting kind of derailed. It's like you're not aligned with your soul path because of all the karmic energy, all the heavy energy in your system. So it's like when you compare it to a train that's derailed and it can't move forward. It goes very slowly, and then if that goes on long enough, it goes to a complete standstill. And that's the energy that I feel. And it's interesting because I'll show the card in a minute, but it has like this stairway on the card, but it also looks like, I hope that you can see it.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Looks like a rail track. Can you
It
see
does.
that? Yeah, so that's exactly the energy that I feel in your system. It's this old, sticky, dense, heavy energy. So I'm going to send plasma light through the jawbones, both of them, and also through your whole skull. And allow yourself to let go of this energy because it's very sticky. Clearing the resistance to letting go, resistance to surrendering. And realize that if you surrender this energy to the universe, other things will open up for you. Opportunities will arise, new developments in your life. So allow yourself to surrender this energy, these karmic imprints to the universe, to source, and let it go. And I'm going to send in healing energies. Relaxing the jaw muscles, the muscles in the neck, the throat area, the shoulders. Removing this load from your shoulders. And I just saw the number, it's my local time, it's 22:22. So look up the angel number 2222 for yourself after this Zoom call. Work with a lot of tools to let the energy open up, to let the opportunities open up for you, to be open to new chances, a new path, new steps in your life. And then letting go of the energy of procrastination. And if you don't know exactly what to do, it's usually enough to take one small baby step.
Right.
So just figure out the little baby step that you can take, and then take it, and let the universe provide for the rest.
Yes.
There you go. How does it feel?
That was brilliant. That was awesome, because I thought it was going to be like just one thing. And now look at what opened up. So I really feel like I feel a little bit lighter in my head, or more optimistic, but I really do.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, and can you give that optimistic feeling a color?
There is a plane going up. I'm sorry, did you ask me a question?
Yeah, can you give that optimistic feeling? Can you give it a color? Like your favorite color, or just what comes to mind?
The only thing, the color that popped up was like a light cobalt blue.
Okay, perfect. So whenever you feel like tomorrow you feel a little bit down, or you feel the procrastination coming up, use that color to delete it out of your field and fill yourself up with that color.
Right. Okay, great. Sure. I certainly will. Wow.
You're welcome, dear. You're welcome.
Thank
Awesome.
you so very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Evie.
you,
Thank you.
Alara. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So amazing stuff. Interesting things coming up, right? Through this, through the process, the short process that Mieke is doing here. So I think we should move forward with the group process, Mieke. What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking of, because it's the new moon, and the new moon is about manifesting, and everybody loves to manifest, and to everybody loves to be to be better at manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting. The card I pull is from the Moonology deck by Jasmine Boland. Just quickly show it. And the card I pull is really interesting. I always love working with the cards. It says, luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So I would like to ask you all to feel your feet on the ground again. Close your eyes. Go with your attention to your heart area. Place your hands on your heart. Really connect to your heart. And open up your heart to receive this beautiful energy of luck coming into your field. Being able to focus on the positive. This new moon in Sagittarius. The feeling that all you have to do is to make sure that you sit back and enjoy the ride. That things will be easy as long as you stop worrying. That you start believing in your own good luck. Take that energy in, open up your heart for that. Life goes in cycles, and what this card is showing us is that we're all moving into a good luck phase. And that also corresponds with the, there's also, I think, Jupiter in Taurus energy, and that's great for manifesting. Also count your blessings. Look back and see how far you've come. Count your blessings. Be proud of yourself. Feel worthy. Feel good enough. And let's call in Archangel Raquel. This wonderful archangel, the most sociable of all of the archangels. And let's ask this beautiful archangel to help us to find peace and harmony. That we can be optimistic. That we can feel adventurous. That we can open up to the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter that also guides the sign of Sagittarius, and that is in Taurus at the moment. Very good for manifesting. And then celebrate your life. Celebrate where you are. And know that you are at the perfect time, the perfect spot, just where you are supposed to be. That you are already lucky. That you already have luck in your life. And look at those parts of your life. And feel it. Feel the positive energies. And know that more is coming. More is coming into your field. Open up your heart. I'll clear the heart meridian for everyone. We already did it in the beginning of the session. They'll send in some extra clearing energies, working with the platinum light. Clearing out the whole heart meridian, the heart chakra, the thymus gland and physical heart, everything related to the heart. So we can open up to everything we want to receive, all the goals we want to achieve, the things we want to manifest in our lives. And those can be small things, big things, dreams, whatever you want. Just open up your heart and receive. Allow yourself to receive. Receive the energy. Adding some love, some rose gold energy to fill it all up. And then I'm going to seal it off with pure gold, sealing off the heart meridian, the whole heart area with the thymus gland, the physical heart and the heart chakra. Going to balance your energy bodies, harmonize and balance the energy bodies, the 7 chakras, realigning them on the Hara line. The Hara line is our central energy channel. Balancing harmonizing, grounding, and protecting. And so it is. Namaste. How do you feel, Alara?
Oh, I was like a little bit out of it. I'm still not quite here physically. It feels like there's just so much happening.
Let's ground you and everyone.
Yeah, let's ground.
So bring back your energy. And what also helps to feel that you're back in the room that you're in. Just move your body. Any body part that you feel like moving, your hands, your arms, your feet, your legs, your head, make a neck roll or something like that. Exhale, breathe, and ground. Does that feel better?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the grounding helps, and of course everyone drinks some water and stuff, right? But yeah, so it's like with the clearing, with the processing, etc., there's so much energy that's been moving throughout this call. I've noticed that even my throat has been a little hoarse, like it doesn't sound the same as I normally do, right? So that's a lot of energy moving in the throat chakra as well.
Well, let's check your throat chakra to make sure that you didn't pick something up from the call. So you're right, it's not spinning, so it's blocked. So I'll do this for you. So maybe put one hand on your throat area or both hands, or do it like this, that you can, hold it like that. Just clearing out everything that's not supposed to be there. All energy that is heavy, dense, or sticky. All energy that has to do with pressure, feeling pressured, feeling deep pressure.
There's a lot of pressure at the moment.
Yeah, you need to decompress. So let's do decompression energy, especially around the throat area, but also a little bit around the third eye chakra.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. It's like I'm also feeling my third eye chakra as well.
Yeah, so let's decompress that as well. Let's take away the pressure. And I know from experience that you are very good at organizing everything and that you have a very high standards. So maybe for you, sometimes it's also good to aim for 180% and not for 200%, and then decompress yourself a little bit with that.
Yeah.
You have a lot going on in your life and in your business. And realize that and everyone, this is very important for the whole group, realize that you are good as you are. You don't have to do something to change something about yourself, about your core, about who you are. You're perfect as who you are. And accept that and receive that. That will also take the pressure away a little bit. And then I have the feeling you have to breathe it out. So take like 3 deep breaths. Breathe it out. Let it go. Let it flow out of your system. Maybe yawn a little bit.
Yawning is no problem.
Great. Yeah. Does it feel better already?
Yeah, definitely feels better. Yeah, I could definitely feel a lot of lightness now in the third eye chakra. Yeah. And even in the throat, there's still energy moving, because even as I'm, you know how sometimes when you're underwater you can't quite hear exactly, right? I'm still feeling a little bit of that, but I know that'll shift.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I felt it as well. It was stuck in this area, but it cleared on my side. Yeah.
Oh God, thank you.
You're so
And of
welcome.
course, I will go outside, just stand outside for a minute or two, because it's
Yeah.
already after 10:30, but I'll stand outside for a minute or two just to get that fresh air. That
Yeah.
always helps me to ground the energies as well and to just finish the completion. So that's a great tool for everybody to just go outside for a minute. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to stand on the grass or anything, just, get that fresh air, connect to nature in
Oh,
that way.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So Cindy's feeling a lot of heat and energy moving through her body. Evie was said that for the intense clearing and work on me. So that was quite intricate to go through, she said. Yep. And Sarah says, what a great session. So much energy moving. I know there's lots of other comments earlier, but yeah, definitely lots of energy moving for everybody. So thank you. So again, this is not a sales tactic or anything, but the package is priced at $147. It should be much higher. I don't know what I was thinking when I priced it. So this is not a selling tactic, but please do take advantage of it, because next time Mieke will be on, it will not be at that price point, because it is too low as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not going to change it now, because people have already purchased and etc. So I'm not going to change it. But please do take advantage of it. If you've enjoyed this session, if you've enjoyed the sessions that Mieke has done in the Facebook group as well, then you know how her energy works, right? And how powerful her energy technique is in moving energy and shifting energy. So please, 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 watch those as well, and then book a session. It's, like we say, it's about the teeth and the gums and the bones, but it's like, who knew that there was so much trauma and karma linked to the teeth and the gums and the bones? I honestly did not. So that, so this was new for me. So it's like, I also need a session, because I have a lot of stuff going on with my bones and my teeth. And it's like, oh crap. So, it's like definitely a different way of working, with the body, with the teeth, with the meridians, etc. And of course, disclaimer, we are not doctors, we are not medical professionals. She's a medical intuitive, but she, it's not the same thing as a doctor. So please, if you have physical things going on, I always say, whether you like it or not, please get it checked with a doctor as well.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So energy healing is a complementary therapy. It can complement the medical treatment that you may be getting. But I always like to get everything checked. I'm not very good at going to the doctor, to be honest, but I've been 3 times this year. So it's like just to get stuff checked. So there is a place for it. Okay. So, just because it's energy related does not mean that there's not something physical, and sometimes physical things have to be treated at the physical level as well. Okay. So that's just a disclaimer. I just want to say that to everybody. Right. So any last words of wisdom for us, Mieke? I know we went over. We were trying to keep it to an hour and a half, but I knew we were going to go over. But any last words of wisdom for us?
Yeah, I just think, it's so important in these times that we stay connected to our hearts. And the heart came up a lot today. So see, in the coming days, what will change for you when you really tune into what you would like to do at heart level. And especially with all the manifesting energies that I brought in and that are going around. If you really want to achieve something, work from the heart and trust your own heart. I think that's very important. And
yes, absolutely. And also, if you have not downloaded the free gift from Mieke, please do that as well. Take advantage of that. It's on the gift page. For those of you who are subscribers to my email list, the link is in every email. So please do check out Miike's gift as well. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mieke. I think that the heat is getting to me. So it's like, oh my goodness, I need to go outside and get some fresh air.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find my cats outside. I'm going to walk outside and yeah.
I'm not complaining about the heat, because you know how I am. I complain about the cold, but I'm not complaining about the heat, but there's just a little much today. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. So thank you so much, everyone. There are no more shows this week. I will try and put up some replays, etc. But there are no more live shows this week. Okay, there's some stuff going on, so I had to reschedule them. So they'll be rescheduled. Okay, and so next week there were supposed to be some live shows, but they've also been rescheduled, except for next Friday. We have a live show. I mean, next Thursday we have a live show. Okay, so check your emails, etc. And I will try and post some information in the emails for you to look at previous replays, etc. Okay. So thank you so much, Mieke. Thank you, everybody, for all your questions, comments, and feedback. I know we didn't get to everyone, but hopefully you were able to receive from the people that we did work with, and as well as the group process. So always remember to receive what is for your highest good. All right, so thank you, Cindy. So thank you so much. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye all. Bye.
Bye, everyone. I'll be sending the replay out shortly. Bye, everyone.